Bonjour! Today I'm ranking the best croissants, pain au chocolat and chaussons aux pommes in Paris. I carefully selected the best 3 boulangeries for each, brought the pastries home and tested them with Charlotte to create a clear podium for every category. If you want to know exactly where to get the best pastries in Paris, this video is for you. Let the tasting begin. As usual, I created a map. You'll find the link in the description below. To identify the best croissant makers in Paris, it's actually quite straightforward. Every year, there's a regional competition for the best croissant, and while the 2025 winner was based outside Paris, the second, third and fourth place bakers were all working in Paris. Boulangerie Moderne in the Latin Quarter came fourth in the competition. And if the place may look familiar to you, it's probably because it's where Emily in Paris is buying her bread and pastries. They finished second in 2023, seventh in 2024 and fourth in 2025, a remarkably consistent performance at the top level. Bonjour, merci. Bonjour. Je voudrais essayer le croissant qui a terminé numéro 4 cette année en Île-de-France. The next boulangerie, 1001, near Le Bon Marché, is, along with Boulangerie Moderne, the only other place I'll mention today that's on the left bank. They've also won prizes for their flan and their baguette, definitely a standard boulangerie in the 6th arrondissement. They make great cakes too. Boulangerie La Parisienne in the 10th arrondissement was not only ranked second best croissant in Île-de-France, they were also crowned best baguette in Paris, which means that for 1 year they supply bread to the Élysée Palace, the official residence of the President of France. So I brought those 3 croissants back home, and Charlotte and I took on the tough task of tasting and ranking them to decide on a winner, a silver medal, and a bronze. Out of the 3 categories in this video, the croissants were by far the hardest to rank. They were all excellent. They were all beautifully fluffy, buttery, and tasted very similar. But we still had to choose a winner. So the croissant from 1001 was our preferred choice, for both of us. For the other 2, it was almost a tie, and the croissant from La Parisienne, though really delicious, ended up in 3rd place as it was slightly drier than the others. For the next 2 categories, there was no competition to rely on, so I selected the 3 contenders based on their reputation and my personal favorites. Victoire Boulangerie is located in the 9th arrondissement, at the lower end of Rue Cadet, a particularly pleasant stretch of the street. those pains au chocolat look really yummy. Our next boulangerie, Mamiche, has an excellent reputation not only for its pastries, but also for its bread and sandwiches. It could easily have made it into my top 10 sandwiches in Paris video I published on YouTube in January. Non, ce sera tout, merci beaucoup. Our next boulangerie is actually part of a 6-shop Paris brand, Bohémie. I would normally tend to favor independent bakeries, but at Bohémie, whichever location you go to, the quality is consistently excellent. Once again, I brought all these pains au chocolat back home, and Charlotte had the difficult task of helping me decide which one was the best, and which would take the runner-up spots. This one is from Victoire Boulangerie. It includes 2 bars of chocolate that seem relatively slim. This one, the fluffiest of the 3, is from Bohémie. Here as well, there are 2 bars of chocolate, but noticeably larger ones. The dough is also more yellow in color, likely a sign that there's more butter in it. This one is definitely whiter inside. The last one, from Mamiche. In appearance, it looks flatter than the other 2. Not much chocolate here too. But the dough is nicely yellow. Ready for the taste test. For me, the pain au chocolat from Bohémie is clearly the winner, and Charlotte agreed. It's tastier, with more chocolate, and a fluffier texture. Next comes the pastry from Victoire Boulangerie, which was also very good. But the one from Mamiche didn't quite convince us, maybe due to its slightly unusual taste. For our first Chausson aux pommes, we head north to Atelier P1 in the northern part of Montmartre that I like very much. At Atelier P1, the artisan bakers set out to make real bread, nourishing, wholesome, and full of flavor, just like in the old days. And they've applied that same philosophy to their Chausson aux pommes. On the border of the 9th and 10th arrondissement, Union Boulangerie is a well-known spot for its pastries, drops, cinnamon rolls, babka. But today we're here for its extraordinary apple bomb. Our last bakery of the video, in the heart of Le Marais, is the one that, until now, I've always considered to make the best Chausson aux pommes in Paris, Boulangerie. Will it keep the crown? Not the best looking, but incredibly delicious. Boulangerie, Union Boulangerie, Atelier P1. They all look very different from one another, and what's inside is just as different in each case. Perfectly caramelized, leaning towards a deep brown, nicely plump and generously filled with pieces of tart apple. That's sain. The Union Apple Bomb is a competition-worthy turnover, with beautifully striated puff pastry and a delicious apple compote inside. But the Chausson from Atelier P1, with its pure butter puff pastry, a light coating of brown sugar adding crispness and indulgence, and a filling of raw gala apple compote with pieces, is clearly my winner.